These sugary delights are called bêtises, and they've helped put their birthplace on the map. The town of Cambrai is now known right around the world for this special type of confectionery.
Sweets were being produced in Cambrai as far back as the Middle Ages. Today there are two manufacturers, Dépenois and Affchin. They've been around since the middle of the 19th century. They've helped make the bêtise sweets a success. They're now eaten in Japan, Australia, the US, all over the world.
The Maison Dépenois makes these colourful candies using a technique which dates from 1830. The sugar is still boiled in these traditional copper pans.
So this is the main part of the factory, where the bêtises are made. Here we have the sugar which is poured onto these work surfaces once it has reached a temperature of 140 degrees.
The sticky paste is then put on a kneading machine.
The sugar is twisted to get some air into it. It will naturally turn white because of the oxygen in the air. Once the sugar has turned white, we then add the flavouring. It's an essential oil. It's mint.
Then comes the finishing touch. This caramel gives each sweet its famous yellow stripe. The true origins of these candies is still clouded in mystery. The Affchin family still claims the sweets are the fruits of a lucky mistake.
In the 1830s, Émile Affchin's parents were confectioners in Cambrai, and Émile was an apprentice. One day he makes a mistake and drops mint into the sugar mix. He keeps quiet and makes the sweets, and they end up selling really well. They're refreshing because there's mint in them. His parents turn to him and say, "You have to make the sweets exactly as you did yesterday," and so the bêtise was born. This truck was used to deliver the sweets in the 1920s and 30s, and it's still used for display today.
The bêtises de Cambrai now come in a whole range of flavours, including apple, violet, raspberry and even poppy. In the city of Metz, we're swapping the refreshing taste of mint for something a little more prickly.
Here's the sugar and the liquor.
The chardons lorrains, or the Lorraine thistle, is a tricky sweet to make. In order to make the liquor centres, you have to heat water, sugar and brandy. Then comes the filling stage.
These pods which encase the liquor are made from cornstarch.
This master confectioner has just 7 minutes to fill 1,200. How many can you make in a day?
3,500. You have to move quickly. As soon as you add the alcohol, it begins to cool, and as it cools, it thickens.
The aim is to create little balls of runny alcohol which are trapped in the starch so that the liquor doesn't harden. Making these sweets by hand is a real challenge. Each colour indicates the different flavoured alcohol hidden in the middle.
The yellow ones are Mirabelle, the green is pear, orange is cognac, pink is raspberry, the violet ones are plum, and white is kirsch. The bestseller is Mirabelle. Because it's a local product, it's only found in Lorraine.
This is what they look like 48 hours after being poured. The liquor has hardened, but they're still totally runny in the middle. 100%.
These boozy centres are then dunked in cocoa.
It's a tradition. This is the story of Lorraine. There are 13 different steps and 3 days of work to make a proper chardon lorrain. It's a long process. They are much quicker to eat than they are to make. We don't really know who made the very first one. These sweets are now the symbol of Nancy and the emblem of the Nancy-Lorraine Football Club. It's very important to be proud and to defend your region and its history and specialities. 2.5 tons of these sweets are turned out each year.
Fabrice is one of France's best chocolate makers. His treats are sold not just in Lorraine, but right around the world.
Hello.
Hello, you okay?
As usual, I've brought you a little selection, including some chardons.
In the land of the Mirabelle, these yummy thistles are king.
I'm going to try one.
What does it taste like?
It has this crunchy texture. And then you can smell the alcohol, which brings it all together. It's very good.
The goal of these locals is to keep this sweet craftsmanship alive and fight against industrialized production.